Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Reacts. And on today's episode, the classicists have won. They have
Yes.
finally squeaked one in.
Yes, we've won because you suggested we do this.
Look, they don't need to know that, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm a
it's like
good
so.
Midwestern
He's secretly
archaeologist.
one of us. He
Yeah,
secretly is. He will
Never.
never
yeah.
admit it.
In Justin's effort to not work today,
Bingo!
he has brought forth a wonderful bit of news from Europe, which is they are going to expand the archaeological site of Edessa and sort of redo how they are running the place, which is uh, very fun indeed. Uh,
I mean, considering it's the first capital of Macedonia, it's kind of an important site.
Now, which Macedonia? Because I just learned the other day
it,
that there were two different ones.
so
Wow.
this is the ancient kingdom of Macedonia. This is Greek Macedonia. This is the province of Greece known as Macedonia. This is not the Republic of Macedon, which has no actual ties to Macedonia
Actually, I
aside
think
from the name.
no, I do believe they did change their name to Northern Macedon.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so
Some
this
update.
is Alexander and Philip
Yeah.
Macedon,
Yeah,
not
yes. This is Alexander the Great. This is his people.
okay.
Also, technically, they might take offense to that. Not gonna lie, they do in fact have an airport named after him, and they are very much uh like that narrative.
Yeah.
What, having an airport named after Alexander?
No, they really like to. They really like to claim heritage that far back, which, no, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah,
Just
Mhm.
no.
that's kind. They. It's a fight. It's a fight with the
It's a fight.
Greeks,
It's a fight. It's a stupid fight, and we won't be getting into it.
I have
right?
no idea what context you're talking about, but I'm here.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a can of
let's
worms.
let's just say that the Republic of Northern Macedon likes to dispute against the archaeological evidence that would be presented by the archaeological site here at Edessa. They like to argue against that and claim that they are where Alexander the Great came from and are the Macedonians, despite literally every piece of archaeology in history saying no.
So are
Hey,
they the
remember how
ones
you
with
told
the...
us to avoid controversial topics that don't get a shot?
Well, welcome to us here.
So
Welcome
wait,
to. I do
is,
not. I do not fear Northern Macedon.
is Northern Macedon the one with the Alexander the Great airport then?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, and he just never
Yeah.
lived there,
Yeah,
allegedly.
no. You know,
We need an allegedly button.
Allegedly. Okay, so back to Edessa.
We are like refusing to talk about anything we were supposed to be talking about in this article, you guys.
Well,
I don't
don't
know.
know anything. I'm asking questions. I'm learning.
Yeah.
Oh,
Colin's
God.
frustrated.
this-
All right, so why are they
Anyway.
expanding the site? Why are they growing it?
the site.
Ooh, it was apparently it was a site of an episcopate.
Yeah, yeah. It has both Christian and ancient, ancient Greek heritage. So the current part of the site that is accessible dates between the 4th century BCE and the 7th century CE, which is when the people there started moving into the high ground, possibly to avoid Anakin Skywalker, but mostly to deal with the fact that they were now frequently getting invaded.
Yeah, this is like the Greek Dark Age, quote unquote.
Oh, so it just wasn't because of mass flooding or anything like that?
Nah.
No, what ends up happening is Alexander the Great comes along, kicks it, and suddenly everything is a border dispute. And that keeps going well into the formation of the Byzantines.
Oh,
I mean,
so it lasts a while.
Yeah, this.
just that one man ruined everything.
Yeah. He ruined it by dying.
Yeah, he should just live forever. I
Rude.
thought heroes were immortal.
Yeah, it was very rude.
You know,
Yeah.
As far as the site's kind of is like placed or like set up to look like how it did in classical Greece. That's how a lot of these sites, especially in Greece, really want to portray a whole narrative, which problematic on its own because you kind of see they have to strip away other layers of history
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
create the narrative or at least create that image on its own for like
Yeah.
that specific time period.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these places lived a lot longer
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
that.
Like here at Edessa, it's not going all the way back to its 8th century roots with like the first capital of Macedon. It's going back to the 5th century, which is about 100 years before Alexander the Great. So right before like it's becomes technically the capital of a massive empire, and it's right here at the cusp of its moment of glory. And to do that, you have to go through all the Ottoman, Byzantine, uh, Roman, and later Greek period stuff, peel that away, and build this up. Which, you know, if you have to build something up, yeah, like you have to present some sort of face, but you did peel through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, this is like look like put it like in an image. Think like pre-Peloponnesian War. So that kind of image is
Yeah,
what they're trying to evoke.
yeah.
But this is
This,
also further north, and funny enough, the Greek city-states to the south really didn't like the Macedonians.
no, no, yeah. Fun fact: most of the Greeks that you hear people talk about, like the Athenians and the Spartans, they did not consider people like the Macedonians or the Thracians, or all these people up here in northern Greece to be Greeks. They were just barbarians who could speak Greek.
Especially
Which,
because they
as you
didn't
can,
water down their wine.
yeah, which, as you can imagine, really pissed a lot of them off when Philip and Alexander came a conquering. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see
yeah,
where anything could go wrong there. I can't see why his death really caused shockwaves. Now,
yeah,
one of the things I do think is kind of cool about this site is a part of the revamp. They're not only working on safety and functionality, but they're also going to be working on an on-site artifact storage facility with conservation lab that will also allow visitors to see and to get to connect with the history. Like that to me, interactive archaeology, interactive displays, storage collections, that's the coolest thing in the world.
yeah. This is not even the full goal of the restoration, as this is considered the stepping stone towards the creation and establishment of the Archaeological Museum for Ancient Edessa. They are attempting to push to get that built, with these reforms and renovations being one of the sort of first big hurdles towards that goal.
Well, I mean, once you establish the facilities, you can really get the program up and running and start
Yeah,
actually moving stuff.
Logistics is everything.
yeah.
Oh, it's
Addition,
90% of the battle.
Yep. Additionally, a big part of the expansion is to deal with something that archaeologists have to deal with a lot of when they are preserving these sites that you don't hear enough about, in my opinion, which is sort of uh, once this stuff comes out of the ground, it starts decaying immediately, and you can't just put a giant bubble over a city that is used to having a ton of dirt holding it up.
Clearly, you never watched Under the Dome, but
Hey,
on
hey.
Uh, but because all this stuff is used to having all the earth around it to keep it upright, it starts collapsing. uh Rain, and in Greece here especially earthquakes, has resulted in uh a lot of damage to the site. And so a big part of the provisions and expansion is to prevent flooding and other natural reoccurring damages from you
oh
know
yeah, Pompeii has the same issue.
It's
yeah
also
so
interesting. There's some examples where they've just built canopies over top of them to keep them out of the elements. I mean,
yeah
Cullen made a
yeah
good point. Like, you do instantly have to start conserving artifacts. You have to try and stabilize them. Like, that is a huge battle. And while it may not be instantly the second you pull it out, you are working against the clock. It is a
yeah
pretty time sensitive thing to do.
and I think a good example of the canopy strategy is, I believe, what they did with the terracotta army in China, where they sort of built a giant hangar bay over everything,
Yeah.
and just said, okay, you are going to step 20 feet down into this hole, and we will build a giant roof over it.
I actually, maybe we should do a video about the Terracotta Warriors at a different point, but that's an interesting case study in itself of like interacting with a site in situ,
Yeah.
which is
I mean,
kind of
yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of what they're trying to go for here. They're trying to conserve it in sight so people, not only when they come to visit the site itself, but they get to interact with the living history. We talk a lot about this in our field, the living history, which is the part that we interact with, the valuable part that we're able to ascertain from it. If you could bring school trips in where students can actually sift through artifacts, can do the cataloging, you really, that knowledge, that information not only connects you with the site, but connects you with the culture. And I just overall think it's a cool topic. That's where my personal bias kind of drew us towards this article.
Yeah, I will say one thing with Edessa is it is definitely going to be a challenging site to get that up and going for two key reasons. One, it's in northern Greece, which means it is sadly a bit removed from a lot of the other sites that draw in sort of these crowds and get this attention. It's on the opposite side of the country from the Acropolis of Athens or the Oracle of Delphi, which are both the main, sites that you think of. The other thing is, if you look at the very first aerial picture on this article, you can see that Edessa has the wonderful decision to have built itself on a variable gradient so that everything is constantly downhill.
It's all
That is
terraced.
super. Yeah, yeah. No,
I
it's not
mean-
terraced. It's not terraced. Terracing
great.
would actually be better than what we are dealing with here. It's just a
mean,
gradient.
They wanted to put. I mean, that's also how you made your amphitheaters. Put them in the side and be like,
Yeah.
It's
They were
also
just
just the
prepping.
natural progression, and this
Yeah,
is one of the earlier cities in this
Yeah,
region.
Yeah, I'm not.
they
I'm not
wanted the
faulting-
enemy to wear themselves out running up the hill.
I am not faulting the ancient Edessans for doing this. I'm just saying, in terms of our ability to preserve it, the variable gradient is a unique problem because you can't simply just terrace things or expect that because it's a few degrees here, it's going to stay the same as you go further up. No, it changes, which means that you have to constantly adapt to the way the hill is moving.
I mean, Colin, you can just get a time machine and just go back in time and tell them to do some better city planning.
No.
Yeah, like, all right, guys, sit down. I'm about to teach you a really valuable lesson.
Yeah, the central causeway here, that is as good as we are going to get.
And on that bombshell, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for bearing with me. Bye.